everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are back with the first fall set of the year, and it's definitely too soon for this because it's still like in the 90s here, but maybe if I start doing like fall nails, like it's gonna want to come on. But anyways, the first thing that I'm doing is removing the bling from her old set, and she also has a broken nail. So I'll be showing you how I remove colored acrylic, which on this set I'm only going to be removing the glitter that she has on the tips because I'm going to be, of course, changing those nails. But for the rest of the other nails, I'm going to just leave them with that same what is it? I think it's the Mia Secret Cover Pink. So I'm gonna leave that on the other nails, but I am gonna be adding some fallish colors to the other ones. So again, I'm just using a pair of nippers to remove the bling. As you can see, everything stayed on really good. Even the nail that was broken, like the bling stayed on it as well. And I used the ZULAY nail adhesive, so I'll be sure to leave that link down below. And now I'm gonna go in with my extra quartz drill bit, and it's a safety one, and I'm just gonna go in and remove all of the glitter off the nails. Remember that when you're using a drill, you want to make sure that you keep your drill moving at all times. You don't want to leave it in one spot for too long because it's going to cause friction and it's going to cause your client's nail to burn. So make sure that again you keep your drill moving at all times, and of course just follow all the way around the nail until all of the glitter or color acrylic is gone. So basically we just remove the glitter on the pinky and the ring finger, and then the rest we're just gonna do our normal filing that we would do. And I'm just getting rid of the top coat as well as the glue that was on the nail and just filing it down. That way whenever we come back to apply the acrylic, the nail is not super thick. And for this index finger, we're gonna file down the acrylic as much as we can because we're gonna be soaking that off to replace the nail with a new one, since of course it's broken. Or if you want to fix the nail with a form, you can do that as well, but I like to just go ahead and remove the acrylic and just add a new nail just to be safe. And again, this is an extra coarse drill bit, and then to soak off the nail, I'm going to be using a cotton ball with acetone, and I'm going to use this little clips. I will have those clips on my website once it's back up and running. But we're going to go ahead and continue removing the top coat off these nails because of course we didn't do a color, so we're just filing them down with an extra coarse drill bit. And just as a reminder, when I'm doing nails, I only use 3 different drill bits. When I'm doing a fill, I start with my extra coarse drill bit, which is this one, and then I use my sanding band, which would be used to remove the shine from the natural nail, and then I move on to my fine drill bit or extra fine, whichever one you feel comfortable with. I kind of just switch in between both of them. Whichever one I pick up first is the one I use. But again, that's extra coarse drill bit. Make sure that it's a safety one because since it is coarse, you don't want to cut your client. The sanding band, which you want to make sure that it's a 180 sanding band, and then your fine drill bit or extra fine, whichever one you want. And those are the only 3 ones that I always use. So I just wanted to remind you guys because I do have that question, or I do get that question asked a lot. And then the drill that I'm using is the Melody Susie Scarlet nail drill, which has been working for me really good. I used to use the McCart nail drill, but I stopped using this one stopped using that one because whenever I switched over to my other room, to this room, I wanted to get on new everything. So I went ahead and brought out the Scarlet nail drill, but both of them worked really good for me. I think when it comes to picking a drill, out of the ones that I've reviewed, all of them have worked really good. It kind of just comes down to what style you want, how much money you want to spend. Do you want it to where you can put the handpiece into the drill, which would be the Scarlet? Do you just want something that's what is it, cordless. It just kind of comes down to that, but all of the ones that I've reviewed are honestly really good. Like, you guys know that everything that I recommend you guys are things that I've actually used and use every day. So I wouldn't want to, tell you guys to go buy something and I know for sure that it doesn't work. But anyways, now we're going to go in and push back the cuticles. Remember, this is just going to expose the new growth and also help with reducing lifting. And then once we're done doing this, we're going to go in with the 180 sanding band. And with my Scarlett drill, I use the extra coarse drill bit at like 10,000 RPMs, and then I use my sanding band at like 5,000 RPMs, and that's on my Scarlett Melody Susie nail drill. All of the drills are going to be different, so the speeds might be different as well. But as always, we're just removing the shine. We go from the right side over to the left side. Make sure we get as close as we can to that cuticle area, because if we don't, we will get lifting. And then after this, we're going to go ahead and just dust the nails off. And then before we apply the acrylic, we're going to go in with the Young Nail Protein Bond. Alrighty, so I cleaned up my table and I'm cutting up like the little gold foil. I'm going to be using that on some of the nails as well, so I went ahead and cut it up. And then for my acrylic, I'm going to be using my Mia Secret Acrylic Pink. I'm going to be using some colored acrylic by Nail Supply Glamour, some glitter from Tammy Taylor, and I think that's pretty much it. So I'm kind of just using whatever I picked up first. So the first one is just an orange by Nail Supply Glamour, and then this glitter is by Tammy Taylor. I think this is the only one that I have by Tammy Taylor, and I do have other glitters that are gold similar to this one, but this is the one I picked up first. And then I'm just going in and applying the foil on the nail, and then now I'm going in and just picking up some leaves, some fall leaves, and just placing them on the nail. And what I do is I just dip my brush into the liquid and just pick up the leaves so they'll just stick to the brush really easily, and just place them on the nail. And also, if they're not sticking to the nail, just make sure you add a little bit of like the clear acrylic or the pink acrylic, whichever one you want, and then just place the leaves right on top of that and they'll stick to the nail. And then of course after that, we can just go in and encapsulate the nail with either clear, or of course I use my Mia Secret Pink, but whatever you feel comfortable using is fine. You don't have to use exactly what I use. That's just what I feel comfortable using. So again, we're going to go ahead and encapsulate this. And since I did file away the glitter from, the previous set that she had on, I am going to have to go in and of course apply a little bit more acrylic than usual. But remember that when you're applying acrylic, make sure that you have a nice thickness at your tip, and also that you have a nice apex, which is at the back closer to the cuticle. And just making sure that, again, your nail is not too thin, because if you hit it on something and you don't have a nice apex, your nail will break off really easily. So make sure that you look at the nail from different angles, especially from the side, because that's how you're going to be able to determine where you need to add more acrylic, because you will be able to see if your nail is too thin at the tip or the apex area, and then again, you'll be able to tell where you need to add more. And then also as well, make sure that when you're applying your acrylic, you clean around the cuticle area really good. You don't want any of the acrylic on the skin, because if not, you will get lifting. And also make sure that you brush the acrylic really nice and gentle. That way it's nice and smooth on the nail. And when you're encapsulating glitter or foils or just anything, make sure that the acrylic is thick enough to where you're not going to file away any of those glitter pieces when you come back to file. But anyways, now for the pinky, we're going to go in with the glitter by Tammy Taylor, which is just different mixtures or different colors of gold, and like it has some iridescent in there, and some holographic glitter pieces in there as well. And then I'm just applying some foil on top of it, and then we're going to come back in and encapsulate that with the Mia Secret Pink. Again, I want to be very clear that you can use your Mia Secret Clear or just any clear acrylic that you want. The reason why I use the Mia Secret Pink is just because it's very translucent, and once you apply the top coat and everything, you can't really tell that it's pink. So that's why I just use that one, and I always have it at my station, so it just comes in handy. Alrighty, so for this middle finger, we're going to just fill it in with the Mia Secret Pink acrylic, and it's just a really pretty pink. like a nudish pink, and then it also has like a little bit of glitter in it, and it's really pretty. I use this a lot as well when I do the ombre nails. It just looks so good on the nail. And then same thing, we're going to encapsulate this one with the Mia Secret Pink. The reason why you want to encapsulate all colored acrylics is because once you come back to file the acrylic at the end, if you file away too much of the colored acrylic, it's going to start looking patchy. But if you apply the clear on top or the pink on top, you're basically, when you come back to file, you're going to be filing on that, so it's not going to, take away any of your colored acrylic. And then for the thumb, we're going to basically do the same thing, just filling it in with the Mia Secret Cover Pink. Okay, so next we're going to go in and repair the index finger. So I went ahead and removed the little clip. We pushed back the cuticles. Now we're going to go in with a 180 sanding band. After this, we're going to just size the nail tip, apply the nail tip with the KDS glue, trim it down, shape it, and then we can go ahead and apply the acrylic. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to go in and apply the protein bond, and then we can apply the acrylic. So for this now, I'm going to do a thin layer of the Mia Secret Pink, and then after that, I'm going to come in with a little bit of orange, a little bit of, not orange, but the glitter, a little bit of the glitter on the tip, and it's basically going to be an ombre. I'm also going to add a little bit of the gold foil and a few of the fall leaves, and then at the back we're going to do the Mia Secret cover pink, so it's going to be like a glitter ombre. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and do the other hand, and we're gonna do the same thing. So we're doing the fall leaves with the glitter and the orange on the ring finger. On the pinky, we're gonna do the gold glitter. The index finger, we're gonna do the glitter ombre with the leaves and the foil. And then on the other two, we're just gonna do the Mia's Secret cover pink. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this off, and then I'll be back. Alrighty, so we finished applying the acrylic, and here's the glitter that I was using. It's in the color Heart of Gold by Tammy Taylor, and then the orange is by Nail Supply Glamour in the number C21, I think, or HC21. But anyways, now we're gonna go in and just reshape the nails. So we're just falling at a 45-degree angle on the sides and a 90-degree angle at the free edge. And of course, we don't have to do that much filing because we already have that coffin shape, but we're just going in and perfecting that shape that we already have there. So again, 45-degree on the sides and 90-degree angle at the free edge. And make sure that when you're reshaping the nails, that you basically, like, you have to pay attention to what you're doing, because you will be able to see your shape change. So especially like if one side is, like maybe crooked, so you will like have to look at the nail to see which side you need to file more on, because if not, it's gonna be crooked because you're not, if you don't pay attention. So again, make sure that you look at the nail when you're filing. That way you know what side you need to file a little bit more if the nail is crooked. But again, 45-degree angle on the sides and exactly a 90-degree angle at the free edge. Okay, so after we finish reshaping the nails, we're going to go in with a fine drill bit, and I'm using a ceramic one. Again, I kind of just switch between a extra fine drill bit, a fine drill bit, a ceramic one, whichever one I pick up first. But for you, it would basically be whatever you're used to, whatever you're comfortable using, but they all basically do the same thing. But as always, we start around the cuticle area, going from the right side over to the left side, just going back and forth until you're able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that the acrylic is not on the skin. You want to make sure that the cuticle area is nice and sealed, flat and flush. You don't want it to be like super bumpy. You don't want them to be like a huge hump back there. You want it to be nice and flat and sealed. You don't want any, gaps in between your natural nail and the acrylic, because any moisture that gets trapped under there will cause your nail to lift. So make sure that you're careful about that. Again, this is a fine drill bit, and you can either use a ceramic one, a carbide one. I honestly feel like the ceramic ones are not as sharp as the carbide ones, which are like the metal kind. But whatever you feel comfortable using. This client in particular, her cuticle area or her fingers are just very sensitive, so she always felt like the carbide one cuts her. Even if I'm not like super close to her cuticle area, it kind of still hurts her. So I always make sure that I use the carbide one, and we don't have an issue at all. So kind of whatever works for you or your client is fine. Just make sure that you seal around that cuticle area super good. And honestly, if you feel like you're doing everything correctly, if you're prepping the nail correctly, if you're applying the right size tips, if you're applying your acrylic nice and smooth, but you're still having lifting, most of the time you are not sealing around the cuticle area really good, because I honestly feel like this is one of the most important steps of doing acrylic nails. And if you don't do this step correctly, you will get lifting, but you'll only get better with practice. So don't worry if you get lifting at first. It's all a part of, learning. When I first started, I had a lot of lifting. It was to the point where I wanted to give up, but I only got better with time. So just keep practicing, and, you'll get better with time. Alrighty, so now we're going to go in and just buff the nails, and this is just going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nail from the hand file or the e-file. So just make sure that they are all nice and smooth, because if we're applying polish on these nails and it still has scratches on them, you will be able to see those scratches through your polish. And actually, whenever I finish buffing, there is going to be like one scratch, I think on the middle finger, and I'm going to go back in and just buff some more. And those are things that you want to look for, because sometimes when you buff the nail, you know, you might miss something, but once you come back in to either wipe the nail or to apply the polish, you are going to see it. So you don't want to just, you know, ignore it. Just go in and buff the nail really quickly again, wipe it off, and then move on to the next step, because I'm telling you, you will be able to see those scratches through your polish, especially if you use a hand file to do your filing. It leaves a lot more scratches than if you were using an e-file. But anyways, now I'm just gonna go in. See, here is what I'm talking about. I had to go back in and just file or buff really quickly, but it didn't take much at all. But now I'm just going in and wiping the nails down with an alcohol wipe to just get any of that dust off, or you can have your client go wash their hands. And after this, we're not going to do any polish at all. We're just going to go in and apply some bling. I actually just got some like orangey ones that I really like. They're really fallish, so I'm just going to apply some of these on the middle finger and the thumb, as well as some gold caviar. So I applied 3 different sizes, like going down the middle of the nail. I'm outlining the middle one with the gold caviar, and as always, I'm using the ZULAY nail adhesive. I do want to clarify that at first I was using the Mia Secret gel resin, and it was good, but I feel like this one is a lot better. The bling stay on a lot longer, and I really like it, so I would recommend it. But anyways, now we're just going in and applying a few more rhinestones. I applied another one at the bottom with the caviar on the sides and at the very tip, and then I'm gonna also apply some more over on the sides. But as always, we're just applying the glue where we need it, applying the bling with the wax pencil, and then once we're done applying the bling, we're gonna spray the nail with the Mia Secret gel resin activator, which is gonna help that glue dry a lot faster. It's gonna like literally freeze the glue into place, which is why I always use it, because if not, it will take a little bit longer to dry. Alrighty, so we're finishing this one up, and y'all, that is so pretty. I love how this orange and that gold caviar look together. It just goes so well with the nails. But anyways, now for the stone, we're gonna just do 3 big stones down the middle of the nail, closer to the cuticle area, and then we're gonna do the gold caviar on the sides and the like the very tip of that bottom rhinestone. And then after this, we're gonna spray the nails with the activator, with the Mia Secret gel resin activator, and then we can go in with the Madam Glam gel top coat. And I'm gonna do the same thing that I just did on this hand on the other hand, and I'm gonna be curing the Madam Glam gel top coat for 60 seconds under my what is it, the Sun X UV LED lamp, and you can find it on Amazon, so I'll be sure to leave that link down below. Alrighty, y'all, so I'm doing the same thing on this hand, and I wanted to quickly show you guys something. So I accidentally put an extra rhinestone at the bottom, and I tried to take it off with my nail, and y'all, look how fast this glue dry. It was literally like less than a second, and I had to go in there with a pair of nippers just to remove that rhinestone, because that's how good this glue is. So again, this is the ZULAY nail adhesive. Honestly, the only thing that I do not like about this gel resin is that the top of the glue, or like the top of the bottle, gets stuck really easily. So you have to be very careful when you put the like the brush back in the bottle, because if you get any glue around the like neck of the bottle, it will get stuck and it's gonna be like super hard to open. So be careful about that. And I've tried wiping it off, but for some reason it still gets stuck. But other than that, the actual glue works really good. But anyways, we're applying the Madam Glam gel top coat on this one, and then after this we're gonna cure this hand for 60 seconds as well. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. They turned out very pretty. All of those colors just went so well together, and I love the middle fingers. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNail32, and I'll see you guys next time.